Driven, RE/MAX Hallmark's real estate show, with your hosts, Johnder, Perez, and Dan Salhany.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to RE/MAX Hallmark's Driven Real Estate Show. We are your hosts, Johnder, Perez, and
Dan Salhany. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here.
so today I have the special honor to introduce our special guest today. She's been in the business since 2009. From 2010 to 2021, she swept all of RE/MAX's awards from 100% Club, Platinum Club, Chairman, Titan, Diamond, and she's achieved the Hall of Fame and RE/MAX Lifetime Achievement Award. She's a mega producer. She's a team leader. She is Kim Tran. Kim Tran, welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much, John. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Excellent.
And so we've got Dan who's going to be doing the interview today. And for those of you who are joining us, if you have any questions for Kim throughout the conversation, feel free to type it into the chat or on Facebook. We're going to be monitoring it. Dan, take it away and welcome, Kim.
Excellent. Thank you all for being here. Greatly appreciated. And Kim, thank you for taking the time to share a little bit of your story with us. So
Anytime.
give us some background. How did you get started in real estate?
Well, I always say I got into real estate kind of like an accident kind of thing. So I've been in the business since 2009. And when I first got into the business, I joined a really well-known team here in Ottawa, the Bill, Reno, and Ray Arton team. And at that time, they were the biggest team here in Ottawa. So I was with them for 2 years. And after that, I went on my own. And it took me a while. I went on my own for 4 years before I start thinking about expanding and get my first assistant. And then just the next year, I got pregnant and I need somebody to help me with my business. So my first selling partner, Tom, joined the team. And yeah, ever since, our team kept growing slowly, but surely. And right now we're about 6 people on the team.
Excellent. So Kim's going to share with us through the interview how she decided, how her team was built, when she knew the timing was right, and then how she put the pieces of the puzzle together as to who would be the best fit for, the different environments that she wanted to serve and so forth. The secret of your success. Give us the gritty bitty of it. Oh.
The secret sauce. All
the
right.
Secret sauce.
Perfect. Well, there's a few points I love to share, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them people are quite familiar with. And to me, right, people can talk the talk, but the action, that's what really counts. So one thing is a huge part of my success, I have to say, is my team. My team dynamic and being a great team leader, right? And just have the right support for you. That's one. And number two, I'm a firmly believer in system. What doesn't measure doesn't get done in my book. So we have a system for everything from the moment from the moment someone call in to us, ask detail about a property or wanted to see if we want to list their house, to closing. Every step of the way, there's a system in place for it. And a huge part about the secret to the success is being relevant and change and learning. So part of a contract that we have with every single team member on our team is they have to attend 2 different events per year, whether it's local, other city, or the country. They have to attend 2 different events, and they have to bring back what they learned. And then we implement that in with our system and in our business so that we can better serve our clients.
So I know accountability is a big thing for you, and I know that you keep your team accountable. But talk to us about how you keep yourself accountable.
So how I keep myself accountable is coaching. I always have a coach or somebody who's holding me accountable my whole life and my whole career, both. For the business side, real estate side, and also personal side, other investment side as well. So one of the reasons why I actually joined the team is because the coaching that the team provides to us. And shout out to Bill Reno. He is amazing, and he have changed the way I look at my business. And so I was coached by him when I was with the team. And then after that, later on in my career, I was also coached by him too as well. So I have different coaches throughout the years, just so that I can learn different way of doing business and see what fit and what doesn't, and then twist it into my own way. So I would say, and even now, like I still have coaching now. I still have my mentor now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know that yesterday when we were chatting about coaching, you made a comment, you quoted, and you said, learn from others that have been through the trenches, and that mistakes are less expensive if they're not
absolutely
built, and they're not built overnight. So
it's less expensive for sure. And also having a coach and having somebody who's been through it, they make the mistakes so you don't have to.
So talk to me about, rewind a little bit, because I know you were quite young when you got into real estate, and you were entering into an arena where, the average agent, I think you and I figured it out, the average agent back then was 51 years old. And
Yes.
that was about 15 years ago. So we know that that's changed, right? The makeup of how real estate is done and so forth has adapted and has modified and changed. So talk to us about, first of all, you had a mentor. So I'd like you to share with us how that came about, and then talk to us about your biggest challenges getting into the real estate industry at such a young age and how you overcame that.
Well, it was actually a funny story with my mentor. Actually, it was like things happen. It seemed like things happened in my life. Like we plan it, you manifest it, but it's also happened at the random time that you don't even think it will happen. So when I used to work at the O'Connor office, you're familiar with that, right? Like our office on O'Connor and Gladstone there. So I work very hard. I'm most of the time, I'm the first one in, last one out. So I work until 10, I work until 11. So I often go get coffee, to keep me awake, my little energy thing. So I keep trespassing this property all the time, just a shortcut to Starbucks. And one day, this gentleman came out. He's well put together, and he said, "Young lady, do you know you're trespassing?" And oh my God, I was so young, I freaked out, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about trespassing." And then he's like, "Well, I own this building. You've been walking through my property. I'm going to get a coffee. Do you want a coffee too?" So I'm like, "Great. We all go grab a coffee together." So for a little bit over a month, we grabbed coffee together, and then he's asking about my business. He's asking about life and so on. And after a month or 2 months in, and he's like, "You still don't know who I am, to you?" And I said, "Nope." He said, "You should Google me." And then from there on, only then I know how how well and how well known he is in, like, pretty, not only city of Ottawa, in the world, actually.
So I think
I was blessed. Yeah.
So I think the interesting thing, and as I've watched your career evolve, because I've pretty much known you for most of those years, I know a big thing for you is being front and center and not being passive and not being hidden away. And I know that your team, for example, engages in a lot of community stuff and community events. Yeah. Are you okay to share a little bit about that and how it's impacted and influenced your business?
Yeah, absolutely. So our team here, we're quite a diverse team, right? We have 3 selling partners on the team. So we try to be involved with quite a bit of different charity and giving back as much as possible. And so, for example, in August, there's going to be a gay pride going on here. So we actually in it, and we're very excited. We have all this banner made. So like, it's the first time that we actually in the parade. So we're very excited about it, excited to support, right? And be a part of it. And yeah, just a little bit about our team. Sean is on our team, and then actually we have 3 selling partners on the team. So including myself, we have 4 altogether, right?
So you're on to, no, you're on to my next question, but that's okay. You know what? This is just a candid interview, and hopefully there's some messages that come out of this that resonate with some people that are either thinking about staying as an independent agent. I know that you've got a lot of structure and so forth, and we'll get back to them in a minute. But since we're on it, why don't you talk to us about the makeup of your team, how it all developed, how you kind of started with administrative role, the profile that you looked, how you went through the process of finding that one individual to work with you, and then talk to us, because I know your team, these guys don't know your team, and I think it's important for those of you that are considering growing and so forth to listen to the story of how this evolved and how choices were made both ways for the agents to work with Kim and vice versa for her to choose them to be in her environment.
Mm-hmm. So the intentions from the beginning is to keep it tight and to keep the number of the people in the team small. We're trying to create this culture, right? So we're very selective of who we choose to be a team member, and the person who joined the team, they need to be deeply committed to the team structures, and vice versa. I need to be deeply committed to their success as well. So our team, I always say, we're quite diverse. We have Stephanie join the team in 2015. She's an office manager. So she's a backbone of the team. So she knows the system inside out. And together we create a system so that whoever has joined the team is easy enough for them to follow. And then Tom was the first one actually to join the team. So he's quite direct. We always call him the real estate geek. He's very hip, and he's full of knowledge. And anybody who's looking for a direct agent who tell you exactly how it is, no sugarcoating, Tom is the one to go to, right? And then we have Twee, also another selling partner on the team, and she is hyper focused. Seriously, she's relentless. There's no stopping her. She's a mother of two, so she knows the family dynamic. So if we have a client who have children who's looking for a certain neighborhood for good school or park and so ever, she's the one to go to. And then we also have Sean. It's a little bit different. Sean always describes himself, right? He's like he's a father figure, and he's a gentle teddy bear. He has this strong, handsome man walking in, right? But he's very approachable, and he worked very well with first-time home buyer. And he's also the member of the LGBTQ community too, as well. So so we have a little bit of different flavor on our team.
So when you were assembling the team, was there a vision of personality profiles, work ethic, that type of thing that you sought out? And how did you structure that? How did you put it in front of you to make sure that there was a lot of alignment? Because I know Kim's team, and there's totally different personalities. Everybody is completely different, which is incredible. And different ethnicities, different backgrounds, all sorts of things from that perspective. And but yet it's gelling and it's working, and they're all prospering, and the synergy that's in that environment is actually quite incredible. So how did you go through the process of selecting or being selected to create all of this?
Unlike a lot of other teams, I don't seek out and always looking for somebody to join the teams, and I just didn't like the process of onboarding and offboarding, keep going over that. So one of the things that's so important to our team, the foundations, which we all believe in, and whoever joined the team, they have to also believe in this too as well, is serving regardless of opportunities. And we demonstrate that so well. I strongly believe in it more as during the COVID. During the COVID, for those years, the beginning of COVID, our team would get together and we talk, okay, how do we help the people that we know, our clients, right? So we forget about being a real estate agent. We just being a human, and we check in with our clients, see how they're doing, see if there's anything that we can help them. So that foundation is there. We're quite diverse. We have different personality and different humor. Some are funny and some are not so funny. But we all have exactly the same, foundation of how we like to run our business. Yeah.
And I love that you call them partners, and I know that you've made them all partners. That that their input, their suggestions, and their energy comes into play in all of the things that you guys do. So give us an idea of what a typical day would look like in the life of Kim Tran.
So typical day.
Because I think that this is important, and this goes back to the disciplines, and it goes back to what your expectations are of the people that are in your environment as well.
So my typical day, usually I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, right? I usually do 4, but that's a little bit early. So I reduce to 5 a.m. in the morning. So I feed my mind and my soul with positive affirmations and books and whatever the flavor of the day is. And I did that for a little bit. I start my workout routines and I check in with my emails from last night, just do a little bit of work. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. is mommy duty time. My daughter wake up. That's when I get her ready for school, drop her off. And 9:30, we have a virtual team huddle every single day, except for Tuesday, we have accountability in the morning. And then Wednesday, we have office meeting. But we're on virtual Zoom every single day talking about, what will highlight yesterday? What were the win yesterday so we can celebrate together? And also what we're planning today, so to do today, so that we can hold each other accountable for it. And then 12 to 2 p.m., we can start connecting with people. I know most people use like prospecting, but a lot of members on our team, they didn't like the ideas of prospecting, sound a little salesy. So we're calling it connecting with our clients, connecting with people that we know and spreading our skills and love.
Opportunities.
And then, absolutely. And then after that is 2 p.m. on is appointments. Go.
And then, so motivation, and this is pretty funny actually, but what motivates you to perform at such a high level every single day? I mean, we're going through a shift in the market, of course, but yet I see you front and center. I see you extremely engaged, and nothing's really changed from how you were trending before. So what keeps you motivated?
Well, I have a very expensive husband, so that keeps me working.
Okay, I don't know if anybody heard you, but Kim said she's got a very expensive husband. Okay.
Gotta make him happy.
Okay, that's motivation.
Just similar to everybody else is, when I'm committed something, I'm really deeply committed. I'm passionate about it, right? So my commitment is to my family. I wanted to spend more time with my families, being more present. So that keep me produced at a high level. I need to be proactive, and then the time that I'm spent at work, I need to maximize it, right? So, for example, my daughter the other day, she came to me and she said, "Mommy, I think you're spending way too much time with me." So to me, that's a confirmation I'm doing a good job, right? So that's on the family side, and on the client side, like serving family, getting those positive feedback from client, that is a motivation itself, right? So it's like a drug. The better you do, when client talk about you on Google review, you get high on it, and you just want more and more. And some morning, my affirmation doesn't have to be booked, doesn't have to be broadcast. It could be the Google review that my client love, and that brings a smile to my face.
That's excellent. So talk to us about stuff like that. And I know it's not part of our pre-conversation, but that's okay. We can be just candid. You mentioned systems and things in place. So stuff like attaining Google reviews, and I know you're pretty heavily engaged in your social platforms.
Yes.
How do you keep up with it? And because there's a lot that goes on, right? And I'm sure that there's a number of people that are sitting here every day. We all have that same time frame, that same 24 hours. How do you keep up with everything that we need to do as realtors, and especially since you're succeeding at such a high level?
Well, here's the thing, right? It's learning how to delegate and learning. I always say, when you go and see your client, you always say, leave the right job to the right professionals, right? So the same thing. That's why we hire somebody on the team she have a background. Rebecca, she's amazing. She have a background with social media. So we have her join the team. It doesn't have to be every single day, post something every single day, taking an hour out of your time every single day. So we set a time for, let's say, half of the day or 2 hours. Well, we started with half a day, and now we're getting really good at it. So we'll probably do about 2 hours or an hour a day, and that covers the whole month of social media, right? So that is one way of doing it. And another way is we've been using. I know that this is a little bit old school, and we've been using Top Producer, having that system in place for a very long time. So we have different campaign for different clienteles from the beginning until close, and then service our client after the closing too as well. So it's easy for us. Every day we open up our system and we know exactly what to do every day. So there's no second guessing and there's no planning that day because it's already pre-planning.
How religious are you to that schedule, to that plan?
I'm pretty good at it. We're flexible if something come up, but how we keep ourselves accountable, and the team too as well. We have a system, we call them the daily success habit. So meaning you have to score 60 points, right? Writing an offer is 10 points, right? Doing an open house is 10 points. Making call is 1 point. So as long as you do a check mark and you tally up to 60 points a day, then it's a successful day. If something come up in between, for example, that's fine. Go to your appointment, come back and finish that daily success habit, get 60 points, and you can end your day.
So do you chart this?
Mm-hmm. Chart this? What do you mean?
Yeah, do you chart it? Like, do you put this, is it something that's written down, that's templated, that your team fills out on a regular basis, where if you see somebody that's getting 10 points compared to somebody that's getting 50 points, you can kind of step in and go, okay, what's going on here? How do we help you to get those numbers up? Because it's obviously relevant, right? These are all actions that are getting you in front of clients and having you have real estate conversations and conversations about how you can help them. So are you tracking this as the team lead?
Right. So we like our team, they're quite mature, they're quite responsible, and they're quite ambitious as well. So they track their own and we talk about it. So in the morning huddle, we talk about it. What do you do? Have you done it? Right? If you haven't done it, what else are you doing? I always say you have 8 hours in a day, right? You're going out there, you're showing client, you're writing an offer that maybe with 2 hours or 3 hours. What are you doing the rest of 5 hours?
So there is some accountability then, by the sounds of it. And it sounds like it's a daily thing. So I find it very interesting. So you guys do a daily huddle. With 5 or 6 people on the team, and this is just me asking for more from my knowledge, what's your success rate of everybody showing up every single day?
Oh, I would say about 95%.
Okay, so they're excited to talk to each other every single morning. And I think that that's very relevant when you're running a team, or even if you just have a partnership, or if you have an administrator, whoever, right? That there's that ongoing accountability, and certainly that somebody feels that they're very much in the right place. So typical day, motivations, you've talked to us a little bit about that. You've talked to us a little bit about your team. I just want to rewind a second, and I want to talk about the challenges when you started out. And I'm a little bit off here. And Ermina's got a question that we'll come to in 2 seconds, but talk to us about your challenges. So that you're a young woman, you shared with me that none of your family had any real estate background whatsoever. So talk to us, can you just go back in time a little bit?
Yeah, so I graduated from university, went right into real estate immediately, just so like as a stepping stone so that I can, get back out there and do my MBA. So I didn't have any background in real estate or construction whatsoever. So I joined a team, right? And I make a decision to join the team because like you said earlier, right? You mentioned the mistake that I made on the team is far less expensive than a mistake I made on my own. So from there, my background was economics. So I applied the economic and learning about real estate and incorporate that and make that, and learning from that pretty much. And I think a lot of big challenge is when I first graduated from university, I looked like a child. I am this skinny little things. I look like a teenager, and I get there's a lead came in. I went to shows, qualified the lead, went to shows, a $500,000. So like, guys, 13 years ago, $500,000 is a lot in Ottawa. So, I walk up, I had to own a lot of suit with thick glasses to make myself look more mature and older, so that people can trust me. So I think that's a huge challenge. Actually, I have quite a bit of people asking me about my age, that I knew what's going on in their head right away.
Well, I think what's interesting, and seeing you day to day when you come into the office, I think your attitude has continued with how you've wanted people to perceive you, regardless of whether you were 20 some odd years old or today when you're still 20 some odd years old. That is the correct thing to say to a woman, guys, just so you know. But talk to us about that perception and that persona that you wanted to put across, that continues with your day-to-day travels.
Mm-hmm. Well, until this age, and I always, number one, I love fashions, I love dressing up, but I also believe in respect as well. I grew up in my family. Respect is huge within the family. So I respect the people that I'm in front of. I respect the workplace. So I'm continue to dress the part. And I think Glenn came here one day and he dressed in this beautiful suit on, and he's like, always dress for the job that you wish you're gonna have, right? So that's brilliant. So just because we're meeting with team, we're meeting with other colleagues here, and so you just show respect by being more appropriate.
So I think, Johnder, did you want to get to Ermina's question, and then we can get to the last part of our interview?
Sure. So we have a question from Ermina asking, what is your award system for your team for achieving the point system? So Kim, when they achieve the 60 points, and I'll add this question to it. If they achieve it, what happens? If they don't achieve it, what happens?
Oh, yes. When they achieve it, then it shows in their business, in their numbers, right? And this is for their own good. We all running a business within, we run a business within Remax, and they run a business within the Team Tran team. So they should, be more accountable and responsible as well. So if they achieve it, and you can see it immediately in their numbers, in their productions. And if they don't, for example, on the huddles, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all.
So is there a direct reward system that you have? Because I know you treat your team quite well, yeah, and you do things that are, would you be okay to share a couple of the things on how you've rewarded your team for your successes collectively?
Yeah. So prior to, just right before the pandemic, when our team achieved the goal, and we are pretty happy, and we did really well. So I took the whole team to Morocco. So we had an amazing time there. So this year in January, because the team have been slaving, right, the last 2 years, and they're doing really well this year too as well. So we're actually going to Vietnam, the whole team. We're gonna take about 10 days off as a reward for them. We go to Vietnam, and it's also an opportunity for team building too as well. And like our team, we're coming from different background, different age, but we all love to have fun, and then we love to try different things.
So I think the message and response is that the buy-in is from the team, is the coaching, the mentoring, the direction, and the environment that they get to come to every single day. And then the performance part of it, yeah, is, those are some pretty big rewards, right? Like that's a little, you're not going for dinner at the Keg. It's, yeah.
And then we have a little competition, in like a friendly competition within the team too as well, here and there. So for example, we were aiming for 100 reviews by on Google by certain time, for example. So we get people to text their clients, say, hey, you know what, I need a favor from you. We have this competition going on, and I don't want to lose. So can you give me a good feedback? or can you give me a good review online, right? And as a reward, we have somebody going to a spa, for example. So little reward things like that throughout the years we have that, but the big one is all of us traveling together and having fun there.
That's wonderful. I'm sure the team appreciates it. Brandon has a quick question here. So he says, suppose that you are an end user that is looking for, so I'm assuming a buyer, prospective buyer that is looking for the best neighborhoods in Ottawa. Which one would you recommend for a detached house with nice lot and close to all basic amenities? Brandon, are you moving to Ottawa?
Well, I was there for Canada Day, so
Oh,
I was really inspired by Parliament Hill and everything, and I want to go back many times and do business there. I live in Toronto, but I really was so impressed by Ottawa.
So you know what we're going to do, Brandon, is we're going to put Kim's contact information in the chat. And the purpose behind the Driven Show is for you guys to connect with people and hopefully make a connection with individuals. I know that Kim and her team have a great versatile dynamic. They work multiple markets across the Ottawa region, from east to west to central, not so much north, because if you go north, you're hitting the river and you're over on the Quebec side. But nonetheless, Johnder's just putting her contact information. So I would encourage you guys to reach out, connect with her on social media, send her a message. She's, the really cool thing is she's always open for a conversation. I don't know how the heck she does it, because she comes in every day and she's, put together. That's what happens when you're up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I suppose. But, I think that's, please do take the time to reach out to Kim. If you have a couple of additional questions, guys, we encourage you to put them in the chat right now. If you think of them afterwards, you can connect with Kim. It's not a problem. Your advice as we get closer to wrapping up, what is your advice to other realtors that want to either just continue to perform well, increase their business, grow their businesses? What's your advice?
Well, they can choose different careers so I can dominate the market. The one. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, everybody.
Kim wants everybody out of her way. That's pretty funny.
Well, my advice to, a few advice that I can share is, number one is choosing the right brokerage, right? You know how people get into the business, in our business, and they talk to different brokerage, and then they always see different structures and commissions and then expense and all that. And to me, when I really compare it, doesn't matter where you go, at the end of the day, you're still paying the same amount. So make sure that you pay the same amount to a brokerage that you can gain something from. There's training. And a lot of time people work from home and people doing mobile. There is something that is amazing about just going into the office and feed the energy of the other agent, high producer in the office. And sometimes when I have a bad day, or I have a day that's, I remember when I used to be at O'Connor, I have a bad day, I come in, I don't feel like working, I'm being a little lazy. And then Paul Fenchuk right across the, the hall, and he's dealing and willing, and that's kind of motivate you, right? In the right direction. And then I'm like picking up calls, calling people again. So yeah, choosing the right brokerage and structure your business. What kind of business do you want to run? Think about 5 years from now, think about 10 years from now. What kind of business do you want to have that structure? And with your clients, always, I know that being out there showing how slaving every day, but serve regardless of opportunities. And when you do that, your client will take care of you. And last of all, pay tax, put some money on the side, make sure you pay tax.
Oh God, I think everybody just wanted to everybody's shaking their heads. I think that's the inevitable. But I mean, the biggest thing is, and we really thank you, Kim, and I hope the biggest takeaway that I've had, and I've known you for a number of years, but you see people as they gravitate and as they flow and so forth. And I know your business wasn't where it is today 10 years ago or 12 years ago or 13 years ago, but I think the biggest thing that I've seen you do through your career is that you've put yourself in environments with people that are better than you, people that have already achieved, and then you've learned from them. And I know that you go to a lot of seminars. And what are your takeaways from all of those extra things you do, the meditation, the affirmations, all that kind of stuff? Does it work? Does it work?
Absolutely. I sound like a crazy person, to be honest with you, to some people, but absolutely, it helped. When you started your day with something positive, something powerful, or you end your day with that same note, your day is gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. And I always say, I always surround myself with positive and with smart people. Whenever I feel that I'm the smartest people in the group, I'm gonna find a different group to hang out with. So that's why with our team too, as well, is we surround ourselves. When we build a team, we want to make sure that we're doing well together, we're staying healthy and wealthy together.
I know that you've also helped your team with their real estate acquisitions and helped them coach through that. So I think, it's interesting to see that the value of being part of your organization is not self-centered, right? It's very much an abundant way of thinking for the benefit of all that get into this marriage or this arena collectively together. So I think that's brilliant.
Because at the end of the day, we're real estate agent, right? We have no pension. How are we going to retire? So when we join the team and we work together, we all help each other, motivate each other to do this. It's to help our real estate portfolio. So when we retire, we have to think about retirement. What do you want it to look like? So now work backward and accumulate real estate. Yeah.
Are there any recommendations you can give to the people that are sitting online for avenues to go to for self-motivation or certain coaching programs that you've found? And this is the thing about, we can make mistakes, but if you learn from others, you're going to make less mistakes. So are there ones specifically that have really impacted you in a positive way as we wrap up that you'd be okay to share with everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. So I coach with Bill Renault, and he's running a coaching company now. And if you need somebody to hold you accountable, he's the one to go to. I always say every time I got on a call with him, he kicked my ass, right? So, and that's a great company. And also another company, the Workman's family. So I have been coaching with them too as well. And they have changed the way I look at the business, changed the way I look at my clients. And sometimes when you're doing this for so long and you feel, I'm going out there, I'm doing a lot of transactions, and you get tired and it's just the same thing over and over again. So it's mindset. They help me to switch my mind. So instead of thinking of you going out there and do a lot of transactions, get a lot of deal in, you're helping another family, right? Just as simple as that, and make you want to do it more.
Well, you know what? Very impressive that you've realized the necessity to adapt and to coach in different parts of your life and different parts of your needs, right? Whether they be business, whether they be philosophical, spiritual, whatever you want to call it. And I don't think that there's one right person to help you with that. But, I give you a lot of credit for being open to that. And then I do know that one of your biggest attributes and assets is that you learn stuff, but you also take action, after you've learned whatever it is or been exposed to whatever it is, that you go into action for the benefit of your business and your personal life and your home life and all these other things. So that's great. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for Kim? Again, her contact information is on the chat. This Driven Show is going to be recorded. It's going to be uploaded. So you know what? The idea here, guys, is we hope that you receive some inspiration from somebody that's just like you, right? That just made some conscientious decisions to buckle down, get disciplined, put things into play, and really had a vision on, this is what I want it to look like. This is where I'd like it to go. And I'm sure you've had some deviations from that as you've gone along, but congratulations on your success, Kim. And I know Johnder had a couple quick things he'd like to say.
So thank you so much, Kim, for taking the time to be with us. Such very practical, very humble, and very useful advice. And it's very inspiring to hear your story. And I know many of us on the Facebook, we don't have any questions, but we've had a lot of compliments from our fellow Hallmarkers. So I'm pretty sure you're going to get a lot of Hallmarkers wanting to connect with you, get to know you, your team in Ottawa real estate as well. So we appreciate you very much for joining us, Kim.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you have this opportunity to share my story.
Absolutely.
And thank you to everybody that sat in for the last just short of an hour. We really appreciate that you've taken the time to support Kim and to be here to learn and to be coached and to hopefully grab a couple of ideas or some motivations or some inspirations to better your business. It's going to be a great year. 2022 is, it's not over yet. We're halfway there. And I think for those that just have that vision of getting to the finish line strong, and I know Kim is one of those people, we congratulate you guys and we encourage you, and we're here to support you all the way through that journey. So thank you once again, Kim, and thank you to everybody for tuning in. This is Dan and Johnder saying have a great week.
Bye.